So some book recommendations. A lot of people ask me about books. You know what kind of books I read, and the reason why I haven't made a video is because there are just so many books, and I try to get my ideas from so many different places that I don't feel fair to just pinpoint a few authors and like point you to that direction because I don't even know, man. Well, legs pretty big still. I think the one writer that really changed my thinking was Steven Pinker. He wrote quite a few books, but his best books. See, my books are all fucked up like this because I actually read my books. You know, see, you see like coffee stains on it. I mean, I guarantee you that if you read all of Steven Pinker's book, I mean, just this one, right? Oh, he's one of those other books that really got me thinking was How the Mind Works. Read the blank slate and How the Mind Works, and you can mind fuck any psychology majors. This kind of material is what they don't teach you in most colleges. I don't know. I think it's because people still don't want to accept the fact that human beings aren't all just blank slates. That they aren't just shaped by the environment. There's still a lot of feminists and still a lot of sociologists that really believe that the environment, the culture is everything that's going to shape human thoughts. Like people really have a hard time like accepting the fact that some things, some behaviors, some thoughts that we have are just innate. Some beliefs are just innate. We're born with it. Through evolution. And this guy, most colleges really still don't really touch the evolutionary psychology yet. The evolutionary aspect of psychology that much. You study Freud, study Skinner, and they don't really deep enough. They don't get down to the deep structure of human thought. Once you understand that the brain is also a tool for survival, and that the brain, like your eye or your hand, evolved a certain way for a certain reason, because it was a tool, like our hands and our feet, we used to walk. Got here because he tried to fulfill a certain survival or evolutionary duties, and how we think and how we feel. A huge part of it are really structured around that. So, yeah. In terms of Brian Greene is pretty good too. This is like sort of like an intro to modern physics, theoretical physics, and quantum mechanics, stuff like that. I'm not a mathematician, so like I can't say I really know this stuff, but the fabric of the cosmos, space, time, and the texture of reality, and the elegant universe. They're bestsellers. I mean, a lot of you probably read those books, but for those of you who haven't, those books are gonna blow your minds. Like when I read them, like I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, like I was like, what the fuck? Couldn't look at the world like same way again. It's like finding out that your girlfriend is actually a black guy after like dating her for 15 years. It's like I don't know, but like I mean those two books really gave me comfort. Like I'm not the only one. Like Brian Greene actually said that someone from Iraq, like a soldier, like sent him an email saying that he, like every time like he feels like scared or alone, like he like pulls out his book and read it. Because like I actually went through the same thing. Like I was going through a really big breakup like 5 or 6 years ago, right? And those books really helped me. Like fuck those self-help books, man. Seriously, pathetic. They don't give you strength. They don't give you mind power. They don't make you think. It's fucking I don't know, man. I don't even read. Well, I'm just saying that those books, once you, I mean, if you understand, like, I mean, those are just really intro to theoretical physics stuff. Like, I'm not a physicist, or I'm not a mathematician, but this is as close someone, a lay person like myself, can sort of get to understand what physicists really, do and what they really think about and what reality really is like. You know, I mean, he does a really good job of without mathematical equations, and he makes really with almost cinematic and entertaining metaphors to make anybody sort of understands what he's trying to make you understand. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the imageries in his books, they just really fired up my imaginations. Really changed the way I make art. Because once you understand that, once you realize, I hate the word understanding because I'll never understand this shit. Once you realize how fucking weird and how bizarre and how irrational reality really is, it really begins to make you question about everything from your training habits to the way you eat to whether or not you should clean up your room to like whether you should like even date your girlfriend. I don't know, shit like that, man. It just makes you think. And the comfort that I get from these couple of books is that, man, you realize that your problems and the things that you hold on to it, the things that you believe in, things that you think are so valuable, compared to the things that are embedded just, in everyday, reality, how like, not just how weird it is, but like how deep everything is, how strange everything is, how huge, how really freaking huge the universe is, and how, just how incredibly bizarre the quantum world is. You look at yourself, and you look at your relationship, you look at the problems you have at work and at schools, and you're just like, fuck that, man. You're a fucking piece of shit. This is one like writer I really like, Colin McGee. And this this book is called The Power of Movies: How Screen and Mind Interact. This is where I get a lot of ideas from in terms of how I always talk about how the mind is like the movie screen, how the structure of consciousness is the structure of the mind and the structure of dreams, and how when you watch a movie is how movies are really the only ways that someone else can really mind fuck you, like deep, right? The movies, because when you watch a movie, it's like a mind meeting of mind. Anyways, this book right here, this is a great book, by the way. It's a little deep, you know. You might not want to start about this if you're not, familiar with philosophy. Steven Pinker gets a lot of ideas from this guy. This book is about metaphors. How, when you think, you're really using metaphors to think. For example, when you think about money, you use time, right? I mean, when you think about time, you use money to sort of just measure, time is money, stuff like that. Or like how time is like a river, or how when you think of time, you actually use space to understand time, and sometimes vice versa. How like thinking is all about using what you already know to metaphorically translate it to another concept. Embodiment. He talks a lot about embodiment. What is embodiment? Embodiment. This book is called the subtitle is "The Embodied Mind and Its Challenge to Western Thought." Basically, he's arguing for the fact that all thoughts are embodied. What that means is that the human experience, even the most abstract thoughts, are grounded in sort of like this sensory bodily mode. Like, in order to understand something really abstract, the best way to understand even the most abstract concepts is to understand how those concepts relate to bodily movements and how we as human beings with flesh and bones move through space. And I really like Freud. Why? Because he likes sex. Actually, Freud is more important for artists and writers, or just to help you, think differently. A lot of people like dismiss Freud nowadays because they think he's not scientific. I mean, yeah, it's true, but a lot of his ideas still. I mean, if you can read the important thing is not to take Freud literally, but you sort of have to read Freud along with, um, as long as you know what's going on in modern science, as long as you're, you know, in touch with, the modern neuroscience literature, it's actually pretty easy to see how this relates to that. But if you only read Freud, you're gonna be confused and be like, "Is he serious?" But I would say that if you're a writer or you're an artist or you're just someone who wants to think differently, Freud is a pretty good guide. I mean, pretty good tool to open your mind up to different possibilities. Um, yeah, I'm really tired today. Sorry, I just got back from the south. Went to the south with my family and Vivian and shot some videos. Pretty good video clips. I don't know why I just decided to make a video because I've been getting so many emails. People are asking me about the books that I read. So I mean, this is gonna be just just barely scratch the surface. I mean, I have so many books that I can introduce you guys to. But now check out Steven Pinker, man. At least read some of his articles or watch some of the videos on YouTube.